Alright, the third Free Companies deck. This one is Tyrell. Like I mentioned before, where is he? This guy, Sir Garland, I really like him as a bestow card. He's always been a good card even without any particular bestow support, so he gets even better when you have it. So that's one thing that drew me to this deck. I also like the Old Town Informer. This is a card that I'm just personally a big fan of, so that helps. So, let's see. I think this is another case where it's like there's not that much to say about the deck. It is funny that I have 3 ofs of everything. That's not very common to have that actually happen where all the characters there's 3 copies. But yeah, we've got a bunch of predictable cards. I've got 3 Randalls and 3 Renleys, and I wanted to use Renly for sure because he can actually go really well with Fargo Hote, who can gain both Insight and Renown by putting gold on him, gold on Renly. And I did look through the characters a few times to see if there were any other big characters that I would rather play and like reduce the copies of some of these others, but really these are the 3 standouts. I mean, the only other one would be if you wanted to play the 6 cost Marjorie Tyrell. You could definitely make a version of the deck based around her because she's just always a really strong card. But with that aside, I mean, it was like, yeah, I want Randall and Renly and Fargo Hote, and the rest of the big characters are way far behind them. And I kind of felt the same way about all the smaller support characters, too. Like Highguard and Courtier, the Spy, the Scheming Septon. Like, nothing really seemed like it was that worth it compared to just having 3 ofs of all these guys. And one reason to have multiple copies of this dude is his ability, it kills him, but it's not cannot be saved, which is kind of interesting. So I have confirmed that if you have a duplicate of him, you can use his ability, and if it's the last gold, it'll discard the duplicate. He won't actually die. You can use duplicates to save him from his own ability. So that's one reason to have more copies of him. But you could probably do a 1-of of this guy and, I don't know, put in a couple other cards that are decent. Then we've got some Tyrell typical cards. I've got the Flea Bottom because I like... Flea Bottom's pretty arguable for this deck. I mean, there's obviously good targets for it. It's more an issue of discarding things into the discard pile to use with Flea Bottom is a little tricky. Mainly the Hightower Spies. Not Spy, the Old Town Informer is the way that you do it. So that's the combo that you're looking for there. Some Horn Hills. This is a bestow card. Iron Bank. Yeah, bodyguards, you know. Nothing too special. I mean, it's like Tyrell cards and bestow cards, right? Another thing about running 3 ofs and having all these multiple copies is if I don't want all of the copies, ideally you can filter them with your Old Town Informer. Of course, that relies on you drawing and having the Old Town Informer available. But this is kind of like a gold mine, but it's a character instead of a location. So that is quite useful to have around and enable some stuff. Plots, these 4 plots, probably 5, 6 plots, don't need any explanation. Very straightforward plot line. Favors from the Crown could be something else, but I think it's fine. If you're going to play a bestow deck anyways, might as well have it. And pulling the strings, again, I looked through the plots several times and I was like, what is a good 7th plot? What's a good 7th plot? And the best thing that I could come up with is just like utility plots, like plots that counter specific things. So if there's something in particular that you don't want to deal with, like shadows or something, you could do exposed duplicity maybe. But there was nothing that really stood out as like, oh, this is definitely what the 7th plot should be. So I went with this because it's kind of a general option. I think for the second game with this deck, I might make this, what's the one that discards all negative attachments? What is it called? Beyond Reproach, I think. Because this deck actually does not have negative attachments that go on characters, so it's unaffected by that. And milk is a problem. Like, if you play Renly and then they just put milk on him, that really sucks and makes it hard for you. So, yeah, maybe the second game I'll do that. Alright. Sniper Pro with Stark Kings of Winter. Stark Winter, huh? that's kind of a bad setup for him. Just Eddard by himself in a Shadows. I wonder if the Shadows is Mira. I feel like a Stark Winter deck would definitely have Mira Reed. Yeah, one thing that you can say about this deck, one, I guess, issue with the 3 copies each of 3 big characters is if you don't have at least one of those around, then the deck feels a lot of times like it's not, like it's kind of treading water. Like it's hard to make stuff happen without those guys in play. That's one weakness compared to like other builds that just have more bigger, more impactful characters compared to this one that has like 3 important characters and then a bunch of support smaller characters. This guy disables his own renown with that shadow card. But maybe it'll be brought out of shadows, whatever it is. I'm definitely going to try to do a 2-claim military attack with Sir Emmon if he lets me. So we'll see what happens and how that potentially works out. Maybe the card in Shadows is Shadow of the North. That's like the Winter Plot claim raise event. Alright, let's see if how big he's going to get. The Rose Road, of course. I guess we don't need this. It was Shadow of the North. Interesting. Power is better than Intrigue here, because he's way over reserve. And if he defends the power challenge, then I'll board wipe him with a 2-claim military. So he has to not defend it. Then doing this is better than this way it puts a renown on Eddard instead of him winning dominance. Not quite sure what plot to do here. I mean, I guess just exchange of information. I think counting coppers could definitely be better for this deck. Kind of for the reason I said before. If you're trying to draw your big character, then you're probably not going to get it with exchange of information. There we go. That guy. Oh, I guess I could have marshaled the Old Town Informer. That was a misplay. I would have had exactly enough gold to marshal that, put a gold on it with Vargo Hote, and then also do Hightower Spy. That sucks, because I did Rose Road instead of Rose Garden. So I think it's not going to work now. Yeah, it's too bad. Let's hope for a better roll on the Hightower Spy this time. There we go. Not much, but it's exactly enough. Huh. Alright, that works. Probably play another one after that. Uh-oh. It's Greyjoy aloof. This is not going to be good. I think I would rather... I could set up 2 1-cost locations instead of the Arbor Marketplace, but since I'm setting up this guy, I think I'd rather keep them in hand so they can get gold when they enter play. So a really good hand for favors from the crown, but he randomly has march to the wall, so this game's pretty much already over. This would be extremely difficult even if I had like a good start, but now because I have a bad start, I would say my chances are effectively zero. Why did I start with a noble cause? That's the wrong plot. Oh well. On top of everything else, I also misclicked my plot, so that just makes life that much easier. Alright, let's calculate how much money we have here. 8. So I can afford to bestow 1 on Sir Eamon, I guess. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, I forgot about noble cause discounting stuff. Well, we'll spend that gold elsewhere. The problem of Greyjoy, of course, is especially starting with Theon, but also I don't have any intrigue icons, so he can just do We Do Not Sow and start getting rid of these locations. And the last person I was able to beat with the 2-claim military from Sir Eamon, but that's not going to affect Greyjoy because he has risen from the sea. So, like, even if I get that 2-claim challenge through, he'll just use a risen from the sea, and he'll be fine. Okay, that's weird. He kneeled his Great Hall and then marshaled a shadow. I'm guessing the shadow is Night Flyer. Oh well. That's quite a few saves. The good news is he has 0 gold, so no, We Do Not Sow. Not this turn at least. This guy is very slow to hit pass on the action windows. I'd appreciate if he could do that a little bit faster. Looks like next turn I have to do close call on Sir Emin, unfortunately. Just not enough characters. This is going to get Renly. Called it. So that's another extremely unfortunate event there, that Renly intrigue claim. Makes a pretty big difference. One minor victory is removing those saves, but that just means that he can't do Valar Morghulis to win the game necessarily. Sort of like evens the playing field on that front. Does not necessarily let us actually take the advantage. I kind of need a lucky top deck at this point for that. That is not a lucky top deck right there. Oh, it is Claim Soak, and we do need that. I think I did not use my agenda last turn, so there's a little bit of a... Oh no, I think maybe I used it on Sir Emin? Oh, man, I can't remember. Well, I might have missed a chance to use my agenda last turn. Alright. So this is not good, but it's better than nothing. Let's see what big character he plays. The bad ones are Asha and Euron because they have intrigue icons. If he plays characters that only have military and power, then Garland can actually try to defend against them. Yep, that's pretty terrible. And again, because of Theon, he could get unopposed guaranteed. So if he has We Do Not Sow, he can kill any of the locations and steal them. Oop. Such bad draws. 5 gold and nothing to spend it on. If I get really lucky, then the Scheming Septon will draw either Old Town Informer or Hightower Spy. But that is not how this game has been going so far. Let's do this before he plays We Do Not Sow. Cancelled. That's fine. Again, it was worth trying. Oh, no event. That's really lucky. Well, we know he doesn't have the event, so I do wonder what is in shadows. I guess it could be nighttime marauders. Of course, he pillages Arbor Marketplace every single time. At least he didn't pillage Old Town. I guess it could have been worse. Well, good to get rid of that, I guess. I think there's not necessarily a right answer between military and power here, but I always want to put more military pressure and make him use saves. Wow, that's lucky. Finally, I caught a break. As long as he has even like one save on this Euron, then if anything happens and it looks like I'm actually coming back a little bit, then he can just do Valar Morghulis. Ah, it's Hagen's daughter. All right. So that option is off the table. It was good to find out. Let's do this, I guess. This game is quickly convincing me that I need to have counting coppers instead of exchange. Maybe for the next game with this deck. Summer Harvest, that's random. I forgot to use my agenda again. So bad. I could have put a gold on Flea Bottom last turn. I just forgot to do it. The exchange also shuffled my deck, which had a Scheming Septon on top of it, so I did not redraw the Scheming Septon. I guess that's another reason not to play this plot. This guy feels like he's playing an old deck. Like Iron Throne and March to the Wall, Summer Harvest. Those are all old cards. The sad thing about this game is, despite everything that's happened, like if I just top decked Renly or Randall Tarley, I would think I would be in a decent position. But that draw luck is just not there. He could have brought out Hagen's daughter to defend. Oh, there he goes. Does it outside of the action window, but whatever. It does not use the Arbor marketplaces. Do I want to put a gold on Seized by the Guard? Probably not. I can at least wait and see what I draw. Sadly, he has not played a draw plot, so pulling the string's not an option. That would have been nice. I mean, I guess it's at the gates at this point. So at least it pulls a economy location out of my deck, so I won't draw it. It's a pretty rude plot. I don't want him to have flea bottom, so I guess I'll discard this. Come on, game. Show me something. There we go. So depending on what he marshals here, Randall might make him do Valar Morghulis. But if he just like has Victarion or something, then maybe not. All right. That guy's not very threatening. I like that. I've got to decide here if I want to put gold on Flea Bottom and have it get canceled, or put it on Sir Garland. Kind of depends on what he does. I think I'm a bit more surprised he's not using this for power at this point. Although I guess I actually... it would be hard for me to block him on power still, but I could do it better than military. Damn, he got the event. Luckily, there's no good targets anymore. Oh, that's weird. I'll take it. Come on, dude. Hit pass. We can't keep playing until you press the pass button. It's actually possible for me to win here. This would be ridiculous if I actually won. I have to win both of these challenges, though. How silly is it going to be if I actually win this game? Alright, I think that's enough. I think I won. Even though it was only a +1 boost. So yeah, he's going to do that. And I do this. Oh, that's not enough, is it? Yeah, I did the math wrong. That sucks. One more strength, I would have won that. But of course, the high tower spy could only get me +1. Yeah, if I had won that military, this would be game over. If I had done my math right and recognized that I wasn't going to win the challenge and then stood Randall after this one, he still would have won dominance, so that wouldn't have mattered. Alright, I think he's going to do Valar Morghulis now. So I think I can do this. So the last card, of course, it was Arisen. The last card, that was guaranteed. So I tried so hard. I got so far. But in the end, it didn't matter. The good news is that now I could actually do my Morghulis. And if he had... Oh, I actually have Begging Brother, though. So I was about to say Hagen's daughter is still a problem, but Begging Brother actually stops her. She has to be in play, though. He's playing that Asha. That's weird. Nice. That's a good draw. Oh. Alright, fingers crossed that he brings that Hagen's daughter into play. Yeah, both copies of Hornhill are discarded, so it actually wouldn't matter if he stole that at this point. He ran out of locations to steal. Ah, he didn't bring her out. Sad. I still have to do Valar Morghulis now. I'm guessing he'll do You Win or You Die. Oh, alright. Fingers crossed. Show me something. I hate this game. It's guaranteed that he top decked a big card. It's Victarion, I'm going to call it right now. Oh well, not Victarion. Still better than what I've got. I think Corsair's Dirk is Ironborn only. So he could actually bring Hagen's Daughter out of Shadows and put it on her in Marshalling phase there. Just doesn't do it for some reason. Maybe instead of favors from the crown, this should be you win or you die with how this game went. Maybe that would be better. Really? Strength 1? That seems like a wasted opportunity. Oh, yeah, because this guy's -1 strength, so he can actually get through. Come on, hit pass. There. Oh my goodness, you gotta be kidding me. That's the second time that whiffed. I continue to draw nothing good. I think this might be the end of the road. I don't even have any flea bottom targets left. Exchange of information will not save me, because I'll just get a dead character, like guaranteed. Have more luck doing close call on Randall. This is one of those games where I actually could have won if just like any one single little thing had gone differently and a little bit better. Then it was a winnable game. But it's also due to the plot choices that I discussed and me not having the right plots in the deck. So that's something we can fix for next time. I guess I can also Valar again next turn. It's kind of scummy, but given the situation. I don't know if he has played any draw plots at all this whole game. But yeah, another Valar would actually clear out Hagen's daughter. Then I could just cross my fingers that he has bad top decks. Yeah, I think I have to do the Valar Morghulis. That's interesting. Oh man, he messed up. He could have triggered March first and made the Begging Brother get marched, and then Hagen's daughter could have been saved. But he misplayed. He made me first player. Finally, I get the top deck that I need. Will I even be able to marshal him though? Because my economy's been destroyed so much. I have exactly 7 gold. Oh, Lord. Still no flea bottom targets. What am I hoping for here? It's got to be character. You've got to be joking. That is whiffed 3 turns in a row now. Alright, let's try it. To pray that he drew only 1 or 0 characters. Theon is not dead. Yeah, Theon got marched, so if he drew another Theon, then I'm dead. Oh my gosh, so lucky. That was the Hail Mary that I needed. Of course, he is going to win dominance by a lot, so we just do that. Also very lucky that he did March this turn, so he doesn't have it available to get rid of Renly next turn. Holy crap. What if I actually win now? It all depends on the top decks next turn. No, of course. Alright, who is more in the discard, Renly or Randall? I think these two are in there. So there should be 2 Randall Tarleys left in the deck, but only 1 each of Renly and Vargo Hope. Ah, he's dead. Come on, game! So I can try to use this in marshalling, or I can pray that the opponent has still top decked no characters, in which case I can win by doing Scheming Septon into Old Town Trigger. I think I can still do Power Challenge into Win Dominance, maybe? Let's try this. Dude, that's 4 in a row. What are the odds on that? Alright, he's going to get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 gold. So if he spends none of it, and I do my Scheming Septon, then we'll tie dominance. That means we do it this way. Uh-oh. Aw, that's sad. That's game over. After all my efforts. All my best efforts, just not enough. Yeah, there's no way out now. Just one of those games, man. Just one of those games. Oh well. Better luck next time.